With recession fears growing, there's concern about the nationwide housing market. Mark Strassman is explaining why.
No one knows with any certainty where the economy will be a year or more from now.
That uncertainty is now hitting us where we live.
I do like these cabinets.
In America's worsening housing crunch. Over that 2-year feeding frenzy to overpay. Many buyers shudder at mortgage rates above 6%, the highest in 14 years.
What's even more significant is how much sellers are pulling back. If you borrowed money at 3% to buy a house, you're never going to leave.
Another issue, so-called shelter inflation. Surging home prices and rents racing faster than wages.
We're going to be feeling this. It's not just one part of the country, it's almost all parts of the country.
Moody's Analytics says more than half of America's largest regional markets are significantly overvalued by 25% or more. 210 out of 413 markets, many pandemic boom towns. Moody's number one, Boise. Home prices 72% too high. Other overvalued areas, Austin, Charlotte, Las Vegas, and Phoenix.
I expect national house prices nationwide, across all these markets, to probably fall about 10% peak to trough, over the next year or two.
But in much of America, affordable housing's an ongoing crisis. Many experts say that should improve slowly if the Fed can nudge supply and demand into a healthier place and confidence in the economy can find a new home of its own. The Fed has already indicated it's going to keep raising interest rates beyond current levels. So whatever pressures America's housing market is feeling now will only get more intense.
All right, with a lot happening in the housing market right now, we want to make sure you have all the information you need, whether you're interested in buying or selling or staying put. That's why we're joined by Fran Johnson with the Fran Johnson team with Keller Williams. She's going to be answering your questions. She is our expert for the day. She's been in real estate for decades. You can text her your question, 336-379-5775. You're going to get your question answered in real time. All right, so Fran, we just heard the person talking about how they were having less of overvalued houses. How do you see overvalue here in the Triad? Do you see that happening?
Well, the prices have gone up for sure over the last couple of years at an amazing rate. And while they've dropped just a little bit since June of last year, they've dropped from June of this year to today about 5%. But I really don't expect them to drop a whole lot because this is not the same kind of shift and correction that we saw in 2009.
Okay, let's talk about the houses that are actually for sale on the market. We're hearing like all kinds of horror stories about there's like no inventory anywhere. What does it look like, the month supply for homes here in the Triad?
So currently we have a month supply of about 1.6. So we got about a month and a half of supply of inventory. And where we need to be for a balanced market, for like this crazy buyer market to level out, is we need to be at about a 6-month supply of inventory. So you can see if we just have a month and a half, it's still a very competitive market for buyers.
Okay, so a month and a half supply of homes where we really, like you said, we really need 6 months supply. That's the normal, is when you have 6 months supply.
That would be a balanced market between buyers and sellers.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at Triad sale prices. And so we can kind of know what is happening with that.
So our medium sales price in June was $285,750. That's a medium sales price. It is down by this September at $272,500. So it's a little bit of a drop. Mm-hmm. And I would attribute that to the rates going up, and that's kind of scaring buyers a little bit. So that's tapering things off because as interest rates do go up, it does reduce your buying power.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, let's take a look. Let's say some folks are interested in selling their house because it's still a decent market to get some cash for your house. And so we're going to look at the selling process and the steps that we need to take. Is the first thing we do is just put a sign in our yard, call someone, or what?
Well, the first thing I would do would call a real estate agent, make sure you're priced right for the market. And because the market is still a little crazy, it's good to have somebody that can just help you navigate where to go, because it is changing right now. And so if you're not used to what that change is, you really need an expert that's guiding you through it. And while you can put a house on the market in as is condition, it will sell better than it did 5 years ago. If you just did that, you always get the best price for your house if you get your house uncluttered, cleaned up, spiffed up for sale, and staged.
I know they always say, you know, curb appeal, that kind of thing, and I know that has something to do with it, but is the inside of the house and clearing out furniture and other things more important than even the curb appeal?
It's actually both. You know, the outside curb appeal draws people inside. So most of people shop online today, and if that first picture on the outside doesn't make them open your door online, you're kind of, you've not made them sticky for your house.
Gotcha.
They won't stick to your site and look at the inside.
Okay, and I see on that selling process, it talks about marketing your property. Things have changed in the last 5 years when it comes to selling a house. I mean, nowadays it's kind of like if you don't have a video or something like that, or at least like more than 10 pictures, you almost don't even want to look at the house.
Right. Most of the time when you just have one picture of the house on the outside, people think there's something wrong with the house on the inside. It's real important to have pictures, and people really love the videos or the virtual tours. And today what's really big is even drone shots and 3D virtual tours.
Okay.
That Matterport.
Drone shots and 3D virtual tours. All right, we're going to continue in the next segment. We've got a whole list of text questions that have come up. We'll start with those when we come back. You can text your question 336-379-5775.